Hello everyone, my name is Helghardt and welcome to Rehive and the land of building wallets and custom payment apps. So in this video I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about Rehive and what we're trying to do and how we can help. So we believe in finance that every business will have a fintech component. In some way or another, every business will have a baked-in finance component, and that more and more businesses will have their own baked-in token model. So if you look at something like Binance, it's a great example of bringing a token into your business model where you can incentivize all these stakeholders, whether it's your customers or your suppliers or other participants in your ecosystem. And we also believe that financial services will be extremely localized and catering for very specific niches as technology becomes more easily to use and deploy in smaller scales. And we think there are going to be lots of different wallets and lots of different tokens for different types of use cases. And it's not that everyone will join every wallet. Customers or individuals will join the wallets and the ecosystems they really care about. And finally, we think all finance will move to decentralized infrastructure, but there's a need for a hybrid solution, and Rehive helps bridge the gap. So yeah, every business, school, club, university, any kind of ecosystem you can think of needs a custom payment experience. And Rehive makes it easy that it works on any kind of store of value, whether it's fiat currencies, points, tokens, stablecoins, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, commodities, or whatever the case may be. So Rehive acts as the transaction ledger system and the user management system, while you still need to partner with a custodian to take care of the actual funds behind the scenes. So we have different types of customers. On the one side, we have pure fintechs. They're trying to be the next PayPal or Venmo or Revolut. And Rehive is a great start for these type of businesses to save cost in terms of building infrastructure from scratch. And we typically help businesses get to market fast, which gives them a foothold to be able to raise funding and go from there. But we also serve other types of clients. So marketplaces, maybe it's a small campus or university or school or a football stadium or a club or maybe a small town where there's an ecosystem aspect. And we help these type of businesses launch on Rehive too. Their incentive and their purpose for launching a payments app is a little bit different than the pure fintechs. And then small businesses is a great fit as well. Maybe you want to launch a payment experience for your coffee shop or your bicycle shop or your maybe your barber shop, where you just want to make it super convenient for your customers to pay. You want to save on some transaction fees and just make it easier to engage with your customers and create some incentive schemes for them as well. So yeah, just to summarize, why do you actually need a custom payment experience? So it allows you to increase sales through more distribution channels. So for example, Rehive supports in-app purchases as well as point of sale payments. So you're able to sell products directly through the app if the customer has a balance with you. And you can avoid the credit card fees. So help you save or reduce cost on banking and credit card fees. So instead of letting customers pay with their card or swipe a card on each purchase, ask your customers to load a balance up front, and then you are processing transactions without that 2 or 3% credit card fee or that upfront 50 cents credit card transaction fees. And so yes, through the prepaid model, you not only save fees, but you also get access to cash sooner. In addition to that, you have more control over the payment experience. So instead of the transaction being handled through a plastic card or your bank's payment app, you can now customize the experience with maybe bringing your brand into the touch point, or doing the confirmation of the transaction in an interesting way, or just bringing a little bit of color into the payment flow. And on top of that, because it's now not a plastic card managed by a third party and you have control of the payment app experience, you can really tailor the incentive schemes towards individual customers. So you can offer customers a bit more of an individualized payment experience or incentive scheme. And clients now have then you're also introducing different options for customers to make payments. So whether it is point of sale payments, online checkout, scan to pay with their wallet or in-app purchases, there's a range of ways they can now pay. And you also give your customers the flexibility to pay in different types of assets, not just your local currency necessarily. Maybe they can pay with points or with a stable coin or with a cryptocurrency. And then, of course, as you start building out a brand, you open the opportunity to increase your revenue through offering direct financial services. In some cases, this is maybe a little bit further down the line. It starts with payments, and then from there it expands, maybe offering insurance directly through your app, or being able to offer your customers some credit or lending products so that they can make purchases or pay at a later date kind of functionality. And of course, at some point, you'll be able to offer them some savings products and effectively offer them whatever the bank is currently offering clients, but within your brand. And on top of all of this, if you launch an app on Rehive, you get access to the transaction data of your customers. So currently, all of that is being kept by the banks or the financial service providers or the likes of PayPal or Venmo. If you launch on Rehive, you have access to your customers' transaction data, and this offers, of course, lends you with more interesting opportunities in terms of being innovative with how you can use that transaction data to offer customers tailored deals or being able to do some interesting things. And Rehive can help in different ways. We have the Rehive branded option, which we call the Grey Label app. This is typically a great starting point for small businesses and marketplaces. And in this option, it's not fully branded with your brand. So let's say how this works is your customers join with an app ID or an Hive ID, and they have to install the Rehive app in able to access your ecosystem or your brand's experience. So it's lightly customized with your branding, and the Rehive brand is still visible. But if we look at the full white label option, this is where the Rehive branding is completely removed. And this is a better fit for fintechs or payment startups that really want to distinguish themselves in a unique way. And you can completely strip out the Rehive branding. This, of course, is a bit more expensive, and you actually get access to the front-end code base to do additional customizations beyond what Rehive has to offer from a wallet experience perspective. If we look at where Rehive fits in terms of the fintech stack overview, so we call ourselves a no-code fintech app builder or a low-code fintech app builder. There's the transaction ledger system and the user management system. This is what gives you control of transaction processing and managing your users, and this is all offered through an API as a service. On top of that, we have an extensions marketplace. So it works similar to how Shopify works, where third parties can build extensions, and you can also build your own extensions. So think of this as value-added features or integrations. And then we offer the white label wallet licenses. And this is where you can get actual access to the code base to do additional customizations if you need. And Rehive works on any kind of store of value, and it supports any asset format, whether it's cryptocurrencies or fiat currencies or points or stablecoins or tokens. It works on Rehive. Very important to understand is Rehive acts as a custodial wallet solution. So this means that you still need to partner with your actual underlying bank, or you need to partner with a crypto custodian, or you need to be your own crypto custodian behind the scenes where you manage the user funds on behalf of the users. So depending on your use case, you still need to look out for the regulations in the specific market you're operating in and for the specific business model or functionality you're going after. But so it's important to understand Rehive fits on top of the custodial layers that is managed behind the scenes, and that Rehive never manages the actual funds. You always are in control of the user's funds. So Rehive is more like a fancy Excel sheet that makes it easy for you to keep track of how much funds you're managing on behalf of users, and users can easily access the app to see what's their balance and what's their transaction history. And then of course the extension marketplace supports some additional value-added features and integrations like doing KYC automation, or being able to do some fraud detection or customer support or accounting integrations to do reconciliation and that kind of thing. So just to reiterate, the platform and Rehive extensions is proprietary and is offered software as a service behind an API. And then the applications, if you do the full white label version, you get access to the front end code base where you can do actual customizations if you need to, or you can get started on the Rehive branded version, the gray label version, which is lower cost, but the Rehive brand is still visible. And there's the mobile app that's supported in iOS and Android. It's developed in React and in React Native. And then for the web app, we have, it's a merchant dashboard as well as a consumer or a customer experience. So two different types of interfaces. And then there is the administrator dashboard. And all of this, of course, is available through our API as well. Use the application layer. And yeah, simply how it works is you get started on Rehive and you set up your sandbox project. You try to aim at configuring it as simple as possible to do your own integrations. If you need to, do some test cases, make sure you understand all the touch points, how you're going to do your accounting, how are you going to do your customer support, how you're going to do your customer verification, and where the Rehive tools can help you in each of these aspects. And then once you're ready to go into production, you chat to us through our chat box or contact us at support@rehive.com, and we'll then guide you through the process to go into production. So at the moment, it's a two-step process where you first have to do everything in test mode, and then we help you go into production after that. And just watch some of the help videos that we have on this dashboard so that you can actually see the different flows and make sure that you can maximize all the features that we have to offer. Cool, thank you for joining, and let's get rehiving.